the signal that terrified the galaxy. The galaxy was calm for the first time in centuries. The stars shone brightly, and trade routes hummed with activity. The great Galactic Council gathered in the floating chamber above the planet Kelma. Representatives from hundreds of worlds discussed small disputes and minor wars. Peace filled the air, and the Council felt confident. Suddenly, the long-range sensors blinked with a warning. A signal appeared from the far reaches of the forbidden sector. The message was not just strange, it was impossible. Ships were moving faster than light, but without engines or heat. Their form was unlike anything ever recorded. Dark matter seemed to surround them, hiding them from most scanners. No one claimed these ships, and the Council grew uneasy. A scout fleet was sent immediately, but the first 2 ships never returned. Not a signal, not a trace. The Council's fear began to grow. For the first time, the representatives realized that something unknown could threaten them all. An ancient holographic archive was opened. Dusty records and old warnings appeared, one word repeated over and over. Humans, humans. The representatives whispered, a species once thought weak, small, and insignificant. How could they build ships like this? Ships that terrified the galaxy. The Council called for an emergency summit. They summoned every human colony across the stars. The humans arrived quietly, without fanfare. Their ships were unlike any other, dark and silent. The Council watched in disbelief. Humans did not boast. They did not explain. They waited, calm and still, letting the Council speak first. One representative finally asked, "Why have you come now, after so long?" The human envoy answered with simple words, "We have always been here, watching, learning, preparing." The Council members stared at each other. Their faces showed shock, fear, and confusion. No one had guessed that humanity had grown so powerful in secret. Meanwhile, the dark matter ships continued to move silently. They passed through asteroid fields. They slipped past planetary defenses. Even the fastest Council ships could not detect them in time. A feeling of dread filled the chamber. What did humans want, and why now? Then the envoy spoke again. "The galaxy is not safe." A silence followed, heavy and tense. No one dared question the humans. Their calm and strange power left the Council frozen. For centuries, the galaxy had never feared a species like this. Now, fear was all they could feel, outside the chamber. The fleet of dark matter ships hovered, invisible to most, but sensed by all. The stars seemed to dim, as if the universe itself held its breath. The Council realized that humanity had arrived, not to ask, not to negotiate, but to warn. And the warning was clear. Something beyond the galaxy was coming. Something strong enough to destroy worlds. Only humans could fight it. And the Council was about to find out that the species they once called weak was now the most powerful in the galaxy. And as the dark matter fleet moved closer, every representative felt a chill, a feeling they had never known. The galaxy had been calm for centuries. But now, with humanity present, the calm was gone. The signal had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The species everyone underestimated, the Council chamber, was silent after the humans arrived. No one spoke for a long moment. Eyes moved nervously between representatives and the calm human envoy. Whispers ran through the alien delegates. How could a species so small build ships like that? How could they hide such power for centuries? Outside, the dark matter fleet waited silently, invisible to the Council's senses. Yet every heart in the chamber felt its presence. It was a quiet, terrifying reminder that humans were not what they seemed. The human envoy finally began to speak. "We were underestimated," he said simply. The words carried weight, heavy and clear. Every species in the galaxy believed humans were weak, short-lived, and insignificant. He paused, letting the words sink in. Many tried to control us, many tried to ignore us, and many believed we could not survive the dangers of space. The Council murmured in shock. Some representatives whispered angrily, "How dare they speak to us like this?" But the humans did not raise their voices. They did not argue, they only waited, calm and patient. Then, the envoy showed images from human history, planets once lost, colonies destroyed, fleets shattered. Humans had been on the edge many times, yet they had never surrendered. Even when their worlds burned, they studied the stars. They learned about dark matter, about physics that no other species dared touch. They built fleets in secret, hidden in remote systems. Every ship, every weapon, Every plan was designed to survive the impossible. The council began to understand. Humans were not reckless. They were patient, they were cautious, and they were brilliant. Their weakness in the eyes of others had been a clever disguise, a way to move unnoticed until the moment they were needed. One alien ambassador finally asked, "Why reveal yourselves now? Why not stay hidden?" The human envoy's eyes were calm. "The galaxy is in danger," he said. "A force is coming that will destroy worlds. We have faced it before, and we survived, but we cannot fight it alone this time." The council felt a chill, even now. They had no idea what humans had faced, or what was coming. The humans began to explain their strategy. Dark matter ships could move unseen, pass through shields, and strike without warning. They had prepared for centuries, waiting for the moment when the galaxy needed them most. Every ship, every soldier, every weapon had been trained and tested. The humans had fought wars in secret, fought enemies the council had never known, and survived against impossible odds. "Hey," young alien delegate whispered to another. "They were supposed to be weak. They were supposed to be harmless. But now, they are more powerful than anyone here can imagine." The council began to realize that humans had grown beyond expectation, beyond imagination. They'd been preparing quietly, unseen, for the survival of not only themselves, but the entire galaxy. The human envoy finally said, "We did not come for war. We did not come to conquer. We came to warn, to prepare, and to lead, if necessary." The council felt both fear and relief. Fear of what humans could do if challenged, relief that such a species was willing to protect them. Outside the chamber, the dark matter ships shifted position. Every move precise, controlled, silent. They were a reminder that humanity's patience had its price, and that the galaxy was no longer safe. For centuries, humans had been underestimated, dismissed as weak, ignored as insignificant. But now, the galaxy had no choice but to see the truth. Humanity was ready, humanity was strong, and the species everyone had underestimated was about to change the fate of the stars. Dark matter ships, explained the council chamber, was filled with whispers. Every representative stared at the human envoy and the fleet outside. No one spoke loudly, but everyone felt the tension. For centuries, the galaxy had never seen a force like this. The human envoy began to explain. "These are dark matter ships," he said. The words were simple, but the meaning was terrifying. Ships that move unseen, untouchable, unstoppable. The council had only read about dark matter in old theoretical records. Never had they imagined it could be harnessed for war. Dark matter ships could pass through shields, through planetary defenses, and even through gravitational traps. They emitted no energy that normal sensors could detect. Even the fastest council ships could not track them. Weapons fired at them vanished without effect. It was as if the ships did not belong to the normal universe. They existed in a shadow of reality, a place where only humans knew how to reach. The council gasped. "How is this possible?" a delegate whispered. The human envoy smiled faintly. "It took centuries," he said. "Centuries of research, experiments, and careful preparation. Humans had studied dark matter, antimatter, and quantum physics in ways no other species had dared. They had hidden their work from the galaxy, waiting for the right moment to reveal it. A holographic display appeared. Images of human engineers, scientists, and fleets filled the chamber. The council could see how humans built ships inside massive asteroid fields, how they trained their crews silently, away from curious eyes. The technology was complex, but humans explained it simply. "Our ships are not weapons of conquest," the envoy said. "They are weapons of survival, and tools to defend the galaxy against threats no one else can face." One alien delegate raised a question. "But why hide for so long? Why not help before?" The human envoy's eyes were calm. "Because the galaxy was not ready," he said. "Most races would have feared our power, or used it for selfish gain. We waited until our knowledge could be used wisely, until the time was critical." The council fell silent. They realized humanity had planned far beyond anything they could imagine. Outside, the dark matter fleet shifted. Ships moved silently through space. Not a sensor could detect their full movement, yet every council member felt their presence. It was a reminder of human patience, skill, and strength. The galaxy had underestimated humans for centuries, and now it was too late to doubt them. The envoy continued. "Our ships can move faster than light, travel through solid matter, and strike with precision. The Council realized that these ships could change the outcome of any battle instantly. The entire fleets of other races could be destroyed before they even realized an attack had happened. The power was overwhelming and terrifying. Then the envoy's voice grew serious. "This is why we came," he said. "Something is coming. Something from beyond the galaxy, a force that will consume stars and civilizations. Our dark matter ships are the only way to fight it." The Council felt a chill. Even now, they did not know the scale of the threat, but the humans had already prepared for it. The chamber fell silent. No one dared speak. The dark matter ships floated in the void outside, invisible to most, yet their presence was undeniable. The galaxy had never seen a species so patient, so secretive, and so powerful. Humans were no longer the species everyone ignored. They were the guardians, and the Council knew it. The envoy ended with a simple statement. "We did not seek war. We do not seek power. We seek only to survive, and to ensure the galaxy survives with us." The Council shivered. For centuries, no species had held such quiet power, and now, humanity had revealed it. The dark matter ships were not just technology. They were a warning, and the galaxy could no longer remain calm. The threat beyond the galaxy, the Council chamber, had never been so tense, even after seeing the humans. Dark matter ships. Fear lingered in every corner. The representatives whispered among themselves, trying to understand the magnitude of humanity's power. The human envoy stood calmly, his voice measured, but the weight of his words made every Council member shiver. "What we have shown you is only part of the truth," he said. "A threat is approaching the galaxy, a force beyond anything you have faced before." The chamber fell silent, eyes widened in shock. Delegates could not imagine a threat greater than the wars, pirates, and rogue empires they had known. Yet the humans had fought it before. They had seen the horrors that came from outside, and they had barely survived. Holographic images appeared, vast fleets of alien vessels, devouring stars and entire systems, planets shattered, suns extinguished. The humans had recorded every detail, every tactic, every strike, every victory and defeat. The Council realized the scale of the danger, and their hearts sank. The envoy explained. "We call it the void. Hunters," he said. "They consume all life, all energy, leaving nothing behind. They move between galaxies, unstoppable. Civilizations fall before they even know the danger exists." The Council gasped. A silence filled the chamber. No one could speak. The magnitude of what was coming was unimaginable. The humans, dark matter ships, were the only defense. No other fleet, no Council army, could face the void hunters alone. Even the fastest ships could not escape. Even the most advanced weapons would fail. Only humans had the technology and the strategy to fight them. The envoy's eyes were calm, but the Council sensed the tension behind them. Humanity had fought this enemy before, and they had survived by courage, skill, and preparation. The Council began to realize how little they knew. For centuries, they had underestimated humans, believing them weak, small, and unimportant. Yet humans had faced the worst the universe could throw, and they had lived. They had prepared fleets, in secret, weapons beyond imagination, and strategies no one else could comprehend. The galaxy's fate now rested in their hands. One ambassador finally asked, trembling, "Why warn us now? Why not strike first?" The envoy's voice was steady. "Because the galaxy must survive together. We cannot face the void hunters alone. We need allies. We need every species willing to fight for life." The chamber was silent again. Every delegate understood the gravity of the situation and the responsibility they now carried. Outside, the dark matter fleet moved closer to the Council system, ships invisible to normal senses, yet their presence was undeniable. It was a quiet, terrifying statement. Humans were ready, and so was the threat. The envoy continued. "The void hunters will arrive soon. Time is short. We must prepare, or the galaxy will fall before we even begin to fight." Panic spread across the Council chambers. Messages were sent to every system. Planets prepared for war. Fleets moved to hidden locations, but no one had the power to stop the enemy without humans. The Council finally understood. The species they once called weak was the galaxy's only hope. And the humans were not here for power. They were here for survival, the survival of every star, every world, every life. As the dark matter ships shifted silently in orbit, the galaxy held its breath. A storm approached, and only humanity had the strength, the courage, and the knowledge to face it. The Void Hunters were coming, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Humanity takes command. The council chambers were filled with tension. The Void Hunters' approach was undeniable. Every species felt fear. Even the strongest fleets could not hope to face them alone. The galaxy was on the brink of panic. The human envoy stepped forward calmly. His eyes swept across the council. "We will lead the defense," he said. A quiet shock spread among the representatives. No one had expected humans to take command, but no one could argue. Their ships, their technology, their experience were unmatched. Outside, the dark matter fleet moved silently. Ships vanished and reappeared. Defensive positions were taken in secret. Humans began to share limited technology. With allied species, every fleet, every pilot, every soldier trained at record speed. Aliens watched in awe as humans organized an entire defense in days. What had taken other civilizations years was completed in moments. Council members whispered among themselves. "They are calm," one said. "Even now, facing certain doom, they are calm." The human envoy addressed the council again. "Fear is natural," he said, "but panic is useless. We must act strategically, we must prepare, and we must fight together." The representatives could only nod. They had no choice but to trust humanity. Meanwhile, human fleets moved to strategic positions across the galaxy, hidden in asteroid belts, near neutron stars, and along warp corridors. Every move was precise, calculated. Aliens who observed were stunned. No species had ever commanded war with such skill and efficiency. The humans were not aggressive. They did not boast. They only acted with purpose. Training sessions began immediately. Human soldiers taught allied species new tactics, explaining how dark matter ships could pass through shields, how they could strike without warning, how to coordinate attacks across light years. The council watched silently, realizing that this was more than leadership. This was strategy that would change the fate of the galaxy. The first contact with the enemy fleet approached. Sensors picked up strange signals from the edge of known space. The Void Hunters were arriving faster than expected. Panic threatened to return, but humans remained calm. Every dark matter ship moved into position, every pilot ready, every weapon prepared. Their calm presence was contagious. Even the most fearful aliens felt courage. The envoy spoke one last time before the first strike. "This is our moment," he said. "Not for conquest, not for glory, but for survival. For every world, every life, and every species willing to fight." The council could only watch, knowing humanity had taken control, and that the galaxy's hope now rested in the hands of a species once underestimated. The dark matter fleet surged forward silently, through the void, past sensors and shields. Every ship a shadow moving in perfect synchronization. Aliens could only stare in disbelief. The humans' patience, planning, and power were unmatched. They had waited centuries for this moment, and now humanity would lead. Not with arrogance, but with responsibility. The galaxy's survival depended on them. The first signs of battle appeared on the horizon. The Void Hunters' forces drew near, but the humans were ready, and the galaxy finally understood. The species they had underestimated for centuries was the one that could save them all. Why humans were never weak. The galaxy held its breath. The first battle with the Void Hunters had begun. Dark matter ships moved silently, invisible to most sensors. Yet, every strike was precise, every maneuver perfect. The enemy forces felt the weight of humanity's power for the first time. Human fleets struck quickly and without warning. Ships passed through shields as if they did not exist. Weapons bypassed armor effortlessly. Entire enemy squadrons were destroyed before they could react. The council watched in awe. Aliens whispered in disbelief. No species could do this. No species could fight like humans. Yet humans did not boast. They fought with calm determination, every action measured, every decision calculated. They did not fight for glory or conquest. They fought for survival, for the survival of the galaxy. The Void Hunters roared across space, devouring everything in their path. But humans anticipated every strike. Every movement of the enemy was met with counter. Ships vanished and reappeared. Enemy lines collapsed under coordinated attacks. The galaxy had never seen such precision, such courage, such relentless determination. Meanwhile, the council finally understood. Humans had been underestimated for centuries, because their strength was never obvious. It was quiet, patient, and hidden. They had faced extinction before, They had survived impossible odds, and they had prepared not for conquest, not for dominance, but for the moment the galaxy truly needed them, across battlefields of stars. Human soldiers worked side by side with alien allies, teaching them tactics, strategy, and coordination. Every pilot learned from humans, every commander followed their example. The galaxy saw what it had always missed. Humanity's greatest strength was not technology alone, it was their refusal to give up. Their resilience, their patience, their courage in the face of overwhelming odds. The dark matter ships struck the final enemy, Vanguard, and the Void Hunters recoiled in shock.